is Jolie for the English Mixed Martial Arts Association. Vaughan Leigh, Jack the Ripper, Paul Kelly. I'm going to start with you, Jack. Fantastic performance, second fight in 2 days, and you've just said behind the camera that was the best performance you put in so far.
That is definitely the best performance put in so far, and I said yesterday, as you know, that I'm going to rise to the level and I'll rise above, but it's thanks to these two guys. We watched the guys fight and we executed a perfect game plan. It couldn't have went any better. The only thing we could have better, I could have knocked him out, that's it, literally.
What did you learn from that today? You said he's a great listener in there, Jack.
So Jack's got a real good skill set. He trains at the top team. He's got people like Vaughan, Jake Hadley, the fearless team behind him. But a fighter still needs to be able to listen to what's happening in the corner. We looked at the young man before that he fought, a good fighter, but we looked at him, we looked at his fight from yesterday, and then Jack was able to execute exactly what we were talking about. Even while the fight was happening, we were adjusting. In between rounds, we were adjusting, even as the actual fight was adjusting. So for his skill set to be where it is one thing. For him to have the ability to listen to us as he's called me and Vaughan in his corner, and then adjust accordingly for the fight, I think was the most important thing in there.
Jack, you said yesterday in our interview, straight right hand down the pipe. Explain what happened in there.
Well, don't get twisted.
I told him to put a straight right hand down.
Well, he hit me some good shots, I can't lie, nice body kicks, but I was reading him. Like, I was landing and he was missing. That was the thing, and I knew that, and I thought, yeah, I clicked onto it and I executed it, thanks to these two guys. That wouldn't have happened out there without that there before that. It's behind the scenes.
And Vaughan, how far can this man go to your left? It was a great performance today, another good one yesterday as well, but how far can he go now?
I believe he can go all the way, do you know what I mean? He wants it, I see that in him, and that's why I put all my time into him, do you know what I mean? And he trains with some of the best guys in the West Midlands, do you know what I mean? Jake Hadley, Team Fearless, and them kind of guys, and myself, do you know what I mean? So I believe he's got the talent to go all the way, definitely.
And a closing statement from the main man, Jack the Ripper. 2 wins, 2 days. What have you got to say to people? I remember we spoke beforehand. You said people on my council estate know that I'm coming out here. It means a lot to you, the people of Walsall, etc. Just a closing message to them guys who are going to be watching for the rest and who have watched so far of this journey.
I love you all, but till I finish this tournament and get gold, I'm blocking that side out, and then I'll enjoy it after. I've got work to be done, business. We'll come home and celebrate.
What's going to happen then?
Better performances, and that will get me gold, and that's a fact.
Okay, Aaron Gibbons, our senior lightweight, thank you for joining me. You just had a really good fight. We're now 2-0 Team England for the day, and you obviously with the second win there. Just talk us through the fight, it was great.
Yeah, as you said, we're up to a min start today, 2-0. Definitely going to go, I think we've got 7 today. So, it's just a good start. Like, I knew exactly what I was going to do going in there, and I did it. He was strong, I knew that, but I went in, I lit him up with my hands, with those kicks, like I said, and ready to go again tomorrow.
It was a close fight. You got the decision in the end. You seemed confident after the fight that it was going to go your way.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think it's a very old school mentality of, oh, you get a takedown, you win the round. He did nothing to me. Maybe a little bit close with a submission, but I've got nearly 3-4 submission attempts on him that were close to finish him, saved by the bell each time. I was hitting him with those rabbit punches, those shots. He didn't hit me once, so yeah. I've got the Ukrainian tomorrow, and exact same style as that Bulgarian, the exact same is going to happen. I'm going to come out on top.
You seemed frustrated at the end of the second. I'm not sure what was happening, but was there foul play from him? What was happening there?
Yeah, I don't want to get too into it. It's a sport. At the end of the day, I'm a sportsman. I'm respectful. Yeah, there was a couple dirty tactics, but end of the day, it's a fight. I come out on top and I won, so that's all that matters.
Well, good luck tomorrow. 2-0 for Team England. Anything else you got to say ahead of tomorrow's fight? Of course, this doesn't stop today.
Yeah. So yeah, just quick shout out to all my coaches, team at Ace MMA, all my sponsors, Hard Life for sorting my t-shirts, the coaching academy for my S&C, the Marine Pub, and also Fries and Bergs. Again, all the other teams I train at, that's made me the guy I am. Especially thanks to Dan and Moose for calling today, and solid team, and Team England are going to go all the way.
Jack Henschel, wow, that was the most exciting moment I think for the whole team of the tournament so far, we've had 3 wins out of 3 today as well. Talk us through that fight from your perspective.
From my perspective, you know, I had so much fun in there. The first round, this guy was a big counter puncher. He had quick legs, and it was just finding my range. It was finding my range, trying to figure in. So I was feinting a lot, and I know I probably only touched him about 3 or 4 times in the first round. But then going back in the second, Paul said we want you to clinch up a bit, and and I saw he was tired, so in the second round I put a bit more pressure, and when I thought, you know, it's time to start grappling and start applying that and coming in close, that's what I did. I stepped in, and I think I showed a bit of everything. I showed that I can wrestle. Yeah, there was bit moments where I slipped and looked a bit clumsy, but I always recovered, and I made sure that I was going to be safe, mate. I enjoyed it all, and I feel like it was a decent representation of my skills.
As soon as you were under the chin, did you know it was over? I know you squeezed that hard, but were you sure it was done at that moment?
Yeah, there was no way. I've grappled with some really good guys, like my coach Joe, Venator Grappling. You know, we got good guys at our gym, and I knew the same moment I got my hand straight under his neck, I felt him stretch straight back out. My head was close. I knew it was just a matter of time before I got my second hand in and got the squeeze on. And I knew with his breathing as well, even if it went into the third, there was no way he was going to finish that fight.
That's a Ukrainian you've just beat as well, some of the toughest amateurs in Europe.
Yeah, man, mate, this is the first time international experience, and coming straight on, fighting a good guy who has fought internationally before, and subbing him in the second round, it gives me confidence to go into tomorrow when I fight a Belgian lad in my next round, yeah. Yeah, 100%, man, mate, it's going to be fucking stacked.
Okay, Jake Stark, thank you for joining me. 4-0 for Team England, and what a win that was, what a performance from yourself. Of course, unfortunate ending, it got stopped early from an eye poke, but just talk us through your fight from your perspective.
I know I'm quick, and I never really use my speed. I'm always tending to load up, but now I'm getting more experience. I'm using my attributes, so it was just game plan. Spear jab right down his guard, leg kicks, try and take him out that way. Saw the takedown a couple of times. He's a black belt, and I thought, fuck it, I want to see where my level's at. So I took him down a couple of times, dominated him, completely dominated him. I didn't get touched. I did not get touched.
Did you expect more from the levels? Of course, there's higher levels that you will now go to because of that win, but did you expect more from him? Because like you just said, you cruised through that.
I expected a little bit more, but end of the day, no one at this competition is going to fucking touch me. I'm the best in my division. I genuinely believe I'm going to go all the way and win a gold medal. That's what I'm in this sport for, to be the best. No fucker is touching me, and that's that.
You fought at the Four Nations, as we say, but this win today, how much confidence have you got? It's clear to see you think the gold's in your hands now. You're closer than ever.
Yeah, I can't wait, mate. I've got a good fight on my hands tomorrow. I've got Keith Keogh. He won the Four Nations, but fuck it, I want the best fights. I want to test where I'm at. I believe I'm the best, so someone come and prove me wrong.
We showed a really good performance today, and I cannot wait for that later on in the week. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.
George Staines makes it 5-0 for Team England there. Dominant performance from you. What happened there?
So, I came out a bit complacent, a bit too my normal flowy self. He caught me off balance with a beautiful overhand. I was never rocked, I was never like, oh shit, I'm close to getting finished. It was just more like, I'm off balance, let's recover. But then, just fucking absolutely out-wrestled him. He looked strong, but he didn't feel too strong. When I wrap my arms on someone, I feel very, very strong. Obviously, I'll get that solid position, and then just fucking rode him. I was to swear. I just rode him for the rest of the rounds, and then he didn't want any more damage, so I just sunk on the neck. I knew a finish was there, either a guillotine or a rear naked. I rocked him in the second, I remember. I sounded like, whoa. Followed with a head kick, and I thought I'd have got the finish, but there, I didn't. I closed the range too much. But it led to a finish anyway, so who gives a shit? You know what I mean? But very happy with my performance. Takes me to 10-0, which is what I wanted.
Of course, you don't want to leave 10-0. Though you want obviously 11 and more than 10 fights. Of course. I want to talk about at the end of the first round. You were looking at the cameras, one of the cameras on the sideline, smiling. That confidence, I can see it right now. It's still bouncing off you.
Like, it's throughout, like, since COVID happened, like, I've started to find just my character in my fights. And it's just like, I used to think going into the fights, like, thinking, like, oh, you know, fucking everyone's a moody cunt. You know, let's be moody and, you know, angry. I'm not. I'm a super happy person. So, like, I have this, like, storm that comes over me to the walk, and I'm like, I'm going to kill this dude. And when I get in the cage, I just start dancing, feeling, popping. And that's what happens, and I start smiling at everyone. I was fucking looking at his corner team, just like, nah, bro, he ain't going to do shit. It's not cockiness. I don't think it's confidence. Like, I'm just that confident in my ability to beat people that I can just have fun. Do you know what I mean? So that's just me as a person. I'm a fun guy.
The rest of the tournament then, with one win out of the way, can we expect similar kind of grappling heavy performances? I guess you could say grappling heavy.
Yeah, I'm not too bothered where the fight goes. Like, if I need to strike, I'll strike. If I need to wrestle, I wrestle. Like, then I felt like I needed to wrestle a bit. Just to make, because it hards my striking a little bit, because no one knows I'm a good striker, but I'm fucking mint. It's not to toot my own trumpet, but I'm a good striker, so I want to show it off, but I'm not bothered if it don't. You know, like, I want to win. I want to be the European champion of the world, European champion, and I'm sure I will be, no doubt in my mind, no doubt.
There we go, all the confidence from George Staines. 1-0 so far in the European tournament, plenty more fights to come. We will be catching up again soon. Thank you so much. Teddy Stringer, thank you for joining me. 6-0 now for England. Talk us through that fight. A brilliant submission against a tough German fighter. I know you're composed, you're calm, and you know there's more to come, but what a day that was.
Yeah, obviously it's the perfect start. One round, I took no damage, but like I said to you just earlier, I'm not here to get too excited about these wins. I'm just ticking them off every day. I've got it written on my whiteboard at home. I'm going to come off and tick European champion, and that's what we're waiting to do. So I'm waiting day by day, and I'll tick that off when I'm back home.
I think you're the most calm and composed out of everyone who's won today. Is that because you've been here before, you understand that you want to go home with a medal? You want to, you know, it's not over yet, kind of thing?
Yeah, this is my 21st amateur fight. I've been to 2 other IMMAF events, and I know that one win feels amazing at the time, but we've got a whole lot of work to do if you want a medal. So that's my priority, is just ticking it off day by day, and soon we'll be European champs.
How do you feel, seeing as that you've been here before on this stage? You can now say, of course, the 3rd time. What have you learnt from the first 2 that you used in there today?
I mean, I've learnt that it's a long old week, and the more damage you take, the harder it gets as the week goes on. So I'm just here to get in, get the win, get out of there, and make it to Saturday for final day. So I think that's put me in good stead. The past few IMMAFs, I feel in a good position now to use that experience.
Brilliant. Just one more from me then. Talk us through that submission.
So I secured the takedown, I took mount. I looked like I was getting to the back mount position, which is kind of where most of my fights end. That's my goal position. He swept me, but when we connected on the floor, I'm comfortable wherever the fight goes. So I took him for a sweep, chambered it to the knee bar, and then once it was locked in, I knew his defence wasn't up to scratch, and took advantage of that.
Okay, Jordan Little, thank you so much for joining me. Such a close fight. You thought you'd done enough. Most of the England squad thought you'd done enough. You didn't get the decision. Just talk us through how you're feeling at the moment.
You know, I'm absolutely devastated. You know, I put on probably the best performance to date. Like, you know, props to my opponent, he was good, but I outclassed him everywhere. All he could do was put a body lock on me and hold me, and that was it. I outstruck him. I rocked him twice. You know, he took me down, I reversed it, and I ground and pounded him. You know, he got the win, so I'm gonna be humble and say congratulations to you. You know, you're a good fighter, Alex, but I want to run that back, because there's no way I lost that fight. I'm gutted that IMMAF and the judges have done it like this, but I'll be back, because with my 2 performances over the last 2 days, I'd have taken this division by storm and won this tournament.
What's next for you? Do you want to continue on the amateur scene? Do you want to continue on to the Worlds in January after a good 2 fights so far? Of course, not ending the way you wanted to, but...
I've got Cage Warriors next week. I'm going to home in on that. concentrate this week and knuckle down. I'm going to win that fight. We'll see when the Worlds is. If it's close enough, I'm going to take that as well. If it isn't, then we'll be looking at pro, I hope. I'll speak to my coach and see what he says. It's up to him at the end of the day.
You thought you'd done enough after the final bell went. How are you feeling right now? I'm so frustrated.
As I said, I'm devastated. I was celebrating because it was a clear win. He was pretty much slumped in his corner knowing he'd lost his fight, head down. When they raised his hand, he was shocked. I don't want to speak bad. I'm just frustrated. It is what it is, man.
I want to end on a positive note. Obviously, you've had a good tournament. The fans today were electric. That was the best moment for the fans watching your fight there of the whole tournament so far. Just talk on that for us.
Sorry, say that again.
The fans today were amazing for your fight. Just talk about everyone here, the whole England squad supporting you.
I represented England in 2019 and it was completely different to what it is now. My team, my supporters, my coaches, I couldn't have done it without them. I've got two great cornermen that have pushed me and spoke to me and worked with me every step of the way, so I owe that to Dan and Vaughan. Thank you both so much. I owe it to my team. Thank you for supporting me and cheering me on. I can see it every time I look up. All the coaches that have been there from day one, the IMMAF for me, the training sessions, and all my family and friends back home. And a thank you to Ashley James Electrical for sponsoring me because I couldn't have been here without them.
Thank you and good luck with your Cage Rise fight coming up.